because I was dude, I was 3 months in, I had like I think 600 followers and over 60,000 views, but it was all long form shit.
Yeah.
So at the time, I was like, well, when I took the job at Edge,
Mhm.
they told me I couldn't go live, or they told me I knew that two things were happening: live content and as well as short form.
Yeah.
Because TikTok was just taking off. That was
Mhm.
like 3.5 years ago, bro. You literally see such a drop off. Like, so I had one video hit like 15,000 views in the first week.
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing. I was like, oh my god, it's the, like a little girl. And then, dude, and then like one of my videos did like 5,000 views, bro. And then I remember like you could feel it. You could feel the vibes of like everything changing to short form, like literally right at that time.
Yeah.
Even barbers were doing like 3 minute haircut tutorials. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
damn, dude, that's impossible to put all that in 3 minutes. Which is why most people who try to learn that way are never gonna get good because
Yeah.
you're not gonna see the finer details. But the dude, the last video I did, bro,
Yeah.
it's only got like 500 views total. So I literally had a feeling. I was like, yeah, I gotta like get more towards short form
Mhm.
and live. And then that happened. And I was like, all right, I gotta revamp everything because I just put in 30 hours of editing on one video.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that no more. That's crazy for 500 views. That's insane. But
For
dude, I
sure.
was 3 months in. I was on pace to get monetized within another 3 months, so 6 months. So, which is like pretty standard for like uh, a show that is ascending. So
Yeah.
usually it's like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And I was on that pace, and then I started there, and they're like, well, it's a conflict of brands. So
Oh.
I didn't go there. Okay, so what do you want to do for the cut today?
Just whatever we normally do. Just look back on
Mid
top.
scans, look
Yeah.
back. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Got you, fam. Got you, fam. All right, all right. So, why don't you, maybe if you want, just give your first name, if you want to give your last name, kind of let the
Yeah.
audience a little insight into you.
Yeah. So my name is Matthew Sipple. Live in Webster.
Webster, New York, good
Webster,
old
New York.
upstate, basically Canada.
Pretty much. But yeah, like
So one thing that I was thinking about before today was how we first met. You were going into 11th grade.
yep.
And do you remember the one of the first questions I asked you?
I don't.
You will when I tell you.
I
I asked what year of college you were in.
Yeah, you thought I was old. Everyone thinks that.
He pulls up in this dude. At the time, you had a
Cadillac, I think, right?
yes,
Yeah.
it was the Cadillac, and you came in, bro. You just looked like you were coming off of work, and I'm like, dang, bro, like what do you do for work? Are you in college?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm in high school. I was like, what? And the first thing you said is, you're like, dude, I fucking hate it. I can't wait to get out of here, right?
Yeah.
That I always found so funny that you had that like kind of presence about you that um, gave off that
For
older
sure.
vibe for sure. And like that was always one of the things that you were like, dude, I can't wait to just work.
Yeah.
And so speaking of that, what are you doing for work now?
Yeah, so right now I'm going to go do line work, so electrical work, but on power lines. Getting into that, it's obviously a little bit of a challenge to get into that because it takes only like the best of the best to get into that. But on the weekends, my dad's got a shop, does like overstock vending for a large retailer and pretty much resells a whole bunch of stuff that you can get at like Home Depot or Lowe's, all like the Christmas decorations and it's all the crazy stuff they have there, which has really blown up in the past couple months and getting busy with that. So I try to help them out as much as I can on the weekends and yeah.
So now, how did your dad get into that? And do you help him at all?
Yeah, so how he got into it, funny story is there was this like auction place out in Buffalo that sold pallets and we went out there and one time and he just started buying pallets out of there with stuff on it and was doing it for fun. He's retired, so he called it like boat and beer money, just for fun. And
Boat and beer money.
yeah,
I love that.
but started out of there, and then we were doing it out of our garage, and it was going good. We were making good money and everything. He had one of his good buddies helping him out.
Now, this was when you were still in high school.
Yep. While I was
Now,
still
now, real quick, we'll jump back to your dad in a second. How old are you?
right now, I'm 19.
19 years old.
19.
19 years old. Bro, I've never seen you with less than a stack in your pocket, cuz
Yeah.
this kid has been, I've known him for a couple years, and dude, this kid works harder than most adults that I know.
Yeah.
But okay, so you said your dad's friend was helping him?
Yep. He was helping him out. Like they were both retired, so they both just jumped into it. And I was helping him out as much as I can. Back then in high school, I was running like a landscaping company and stuff like that, and just doing a whole bunch of stuff. Entrepreneur, pretty much, getting the money. But when I could help him out, I always gave him an extra hand. So yeah, like I was saying, started out in our garage, and then my dad didn't want to buy from these people anymore, so he was like, let's find who they're buying from. Let's go down the line and see if we can get the contract. So he was calling the vendor, which is with Home Depot, like high up, and he just kept calling them every day.
Wow.
And at some point, and that the contractor we're with now that we buy from doesn't sell to like small companies. I mean, they do multi-millions, if not billions of dollars a year.
Wow.
So he just kept calling them, and obviously we were small. We were nowhere near that at that time, and
So they're probably thinking like, what is this guy? What
Yeah.
does this guy want?
so my dad just kept bugging him, and he's got that sweet talk in him somehow, and he talked him in. He was like, all right, I'll hook you up. We'll see what you can do. So he was like, all right, got hooked up with the contractor, the vendor almost, and from there it's just been going uphill. Now we got 2 massive warehouses, we got full-time employees, we got everything. It's going very well right now.
So what are the big things that that your dad kind of looks for when it comes to pallet sales for maybe people that are interested in getting into that?
Yeah, so really we don't buy it by the pallet anymore. We buy it by a truckload, so like a 53 footer. So if you're looking for pallets, really you just got to figure out, you got to price out the pallet and know what you're looking at. It's like an auction almost. You got to be quick with it and just know how much you could resell everything for. It'd be hard to get stuff towards retail prices, obviously, because you're getting them, most of the stuff's brand new, some of the stuff's a little used, and the other 10% of it's just garbage. You really got to price it out and see if there's profit. So it's a little bit harder, I guess, if you're doing singular pallets, but when it comes down to a truckload, it's still hard, but you get a whole manifest or like a whole spreadsheet of everything's on there, and he runs through all the numbers, and the price is good. You just buy the whole truckload and go from there and put it up on our shelves, and it sells.
Now, what's his primary outlet to move the product?
Yeah, so he does a lot of marketing through like Facebook marketplaces where majority of our marketing goes through. And then really word of mouth too. I mean, I remember when we were first starting up, he got a couple t-shirts and everything, and sweatshirts, and he was out like 45 minutes away at a store or whatever, and the guy seen the logo, he's like, oh, you know them? I know UM Merchants, and we're like, yeah, so it was pretty cool when he was telling me that, because that's when we were small, but nowadays everybody just talks about it, and
So
it's great.
so it started on Facebook Marketplace, kind of social media area, and then now you still have that, but you also have the word of mouth.
Yeah, and brick and mortar stores, obviously,
Interesting.
like actual storefronts and places where you can walk into and just go shopping. Pretty much is what we got now.
So this reminds me, like there's so many ways to make money these days, man. I think that
Yeah.
I think people really miss out, and I think people spend too much time thinking about ways in which that they can make money,
Yeah.
rather than actually doing those things. So it's really interesting. I have an uncle, and this reminds me of that. He just does scrapping, and
Okay.
he's been a construction worker his whole life, and he did scrapping on the side throughout his entire career,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where people literally know him. He's never been on social media. Like they're literally like, I've seen posts through the community pages where people are like, hey, does anybody know this guy that picks up the scrap metal? He drives XXX, right? And literally I'll be like, yeah, that's my uncle. So I'll
Yeah.
like reach out and be like, yeah, that's my uncle. Here's let me reach out to him, let him know that, because I don't want to give out his like number and stuff without
Yeah,
letting him handle
absolutely.
that. Yeah. And dude, to this day, man, like I would go over there and his garage is chock full of just scrap metal he'd have to rip apart. So it's interesting how word of mouth locally becomes so incredibly big.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, for people that want to possibly get into something similar, because I know pallet sales have become huge, man.
Yeah.
People are all trying to do that. Maybe if in your head, can you lay out like a few simple steps that people can take to get a business like that going?
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said, how we started is we found a place locally that does pallet resales. So, if you could really find a place near you and you want to get it started, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go check them out. Go take a look for a week or two. You don't really have to buy anything. Just go in and see what pallets they have on the floor or online and start figuring out what you could sell everything for and
Gotcha.
start getting an idea of like, hey, sometimes you're going to see like similar stuff, so it'll be a good idea to have the numbers already in your head instead of, because the place we used to go to, it was like fast, like you got to be quick with it, and if not, you could lose out on something. So you just got to really know what you're looking for and just do like the research and kind of look everything up and
So
figure
now,
what
in
you'll be
terms
able
of
to sell for.
finding buyers, because so like one of the things like I think about if I were getting into this business is like, okay, well, like doing the outreach through the community, through like marketplace and everything.
Yep.
So now, like, let's say an item comes on there. Let's say it's a power tool,
Yep.
and somebody comes to buy. Well, so like that power tool isn't something you can resell to that same person. So how does your dad find like consistent business that like he knows like, okay, this item I know this business or person will take consistently. So like how did that come about, or does he have customers that way?
Yeah, so a lot of people we deal with are like a lot of contractors and stuff. So power tools, obviously nowadays they're made pretty well, so not everyone's going to be coming in and keep buying power tools, power tools, power tools. You buy one, you keep it around, but
Gotcha.
power tools is also hard to get into because it's a little bit more expensive, more upfront money, but it also does turn a good profit. So
Gotcha.
it's a little bit tougher, but like lawn mowers, weed whackers, chainsaws, stuff
Gotcha.
like that too, a little bit more. You could get into like kitchen and bath stuff, like vanities. Everyone's looking to do remodels. Everybody
Gotcha.
is either building or then if you could get hooked up with like contractors, they'll come back on every project they get, they'll come to you, and obviously it helps the person that's paying for the project save some money, and it helps our business because we give the contractors good deals and they keep coming back.
Gotcha. That's really awesome. So now, how long has he been doing that for?
So the whole reselling, I think, has been about 2 years, I want to say, maybe 2.5, somewhere
Wow.
right around there.
Wow. He
Yeah.
scaled that fast.
Yeah, and that's a
Wow.
lot through Facebook because it just pay. You got to pay for ads. You got to do some of the marketing and stuff like that. But once it starts rolling, it's just
It's
word of
just
mouth.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like rinse, wash, repeat.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so uh, how now on like now on an average month, what kind of profits can you make from something like that?
Yeah. So right now, I'm not sure about the numbers back then, but I know right now our our total sales for a month ranges between 50 and about 70,000.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So that's where we're at right about
Oh
now.
my God.
Obviously, we got, like I said, full-time employees, so
Crow.
that takes about spend about 20,000 a month in paying our people to come work, and they do a great job. And then we have a couple other costs, overhead costs, like rent and stuff like that. So at the end of the month, we're looking between probably 30, 20,000 just pure profit as of right now.
Man, and that's after paying your overhead.
That's after paying, yeah, a lot of stuff.
Holy cow! So essentially, there was, if you weren't paying people and you were able to kind of do all that on your own, the profits would be even bigger.
Yep, yep,
But I mean, like obviously, like it, it's sort of like you're, in my opinion, when it comes to something like that, I always think of like paying for my time. Like I'd love to be cutting my own lawn,
yeah,
but to cut my lawn with the tractor I have takes like 3 hours.
yeah.
I'd
for
rather
sure.
pay somebody $50 for that 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right now, we really haven't, since, so we took a new type of contract, which is like flooring contract, so like life proof and all like high-end laminate and stuff, and kitchen and bath trucks. We really ramped up in about January, February, we started doing that. So that's
really?
kind of when we started making even more money and even bigger sales.
Wow.
So really, it's only been a couple months of really doing big numbers like that, but it's been
That's
pretty
insane.
consistent. And
Yeah, so like a year ago when we had talked, I
yeah,
remember you were saying, like my dad's getting up to that 25, 30 range.
yeah,
So and then I remember when it first started, you and I have always talked about business ideas, right? Like,
yeah,
I think that's the thing that kind of got us both attracted to each other.
yeah,
Is the constant, um, the entrepreneurship.
yeah,
And I remember when your dad first got into it, and you're like, dude, my dad did 10 G's profit last month.
yeah,
He just started,
absolutely.
which was unbelievable. Which obviously we're not, you and I, we can't speak for anybody else. We can't say like they're going to jump in and have instant success.
Yeah,
But that's insane for 2.5 years to have scaled and to have gone from, you know, just this idea of reselling stuff um, to scaling to a $70,000 per month net income, right, and then a $20,000 profit.
yeah,
That's insane. It just goes to show you that persistence, right?
yeah, for sure.
If there was any secret to all of this, like behind the scenes, like something that was like, there's just something that most people wouldn't think of, or like, what would be like a secret or a key to the success that like you wouldn't be able to explain in like a physical, but it's more of like is it like confidence? Is it, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I would honestly say confidence and like being able to talk with someone and help them like understand what you're doing, help them find what they're looking for. 'Cause a lot of people come in, say for like flooring, for instance, they're looking for flooring, they don't know what they want, and obviously you don't want to screw them over and hire them to sell them like the highest stuff, like the most stuff like you want to get your money for. Um, but just really helping people out and being confident in what you're going to sell them and just being like a good salesman, I guess.
Knowing the product.
Yeah.
And I think, what I hear too a lot, something I think about as often as possible when it comes to, because I do online reselling too, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've come to really try to drill into all of my businesses, everything that I do, is to provide as much value as possible. Like,
Yeah.
Provide 10x the value that I'm actually getting in return.
Absolutely.
So I think that, one thing that I've also, I'm starting to realize too is like, and why I ask you about this business is because I know nothing about it, right?
Yeah.
It's super interesting to me. I mean, we can see the shows on TV, like, the Storage Wars is kind of
Yeah.
along the similar lines.
Yeah.
And these guys obviously have their outlets to resell and whatnot. But one of the things that I've been really trying to do is provide as much value as I possibly can in everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Now, so I actually had another thought, but I lost my train of thought. But I do have another question about that. What would you say? Because I know you very well.
Yeah.
And going back to you I've never seen you as a kid. I literally
Okay.
have never viewed you as a kid, but you
Yep.
were a kid, like
Yeah.
when I first met you. And
For sure.
I will let the audience know that Matt is 100% introverted, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt. He when Matty speaks, it's to me it's important to listen because I think it's important for the older generation to learn from the younger generation. I think it's one way we can stay on top of trends and like things that are happening. So what would be your advice for somebody who is introverted getting into a business like that where, and obviously like you see your dad doing, where like they have to sell, right?
Yeah.
And talk to people. So what would be your advice for somebody who is introverted?
Yeah. So really just obviously learn as much as you can and like teach as much as you can. Is let it go in one ear and then speak it out your mouth and really try to help out. And it makes, at the end of the day, it makes everything a lot easier for you and easier to deal with like people around you and everything like that. So
Nice. I
yeah.
like it. I like it. So, what I got one more question
Yep.
about your father because he just seems super success minded. I imagine that's where you get a lot of your qualities from when it comes to entrepreneurship. Um, what is the best advice your father's ever given
Ooh, that's a tough one.
you?
Um,
Bringing the heat.
yeah, for sure. Um, I think about that one for a minute. Best advice he's ever given me. I'd say to take your time with stuff and don't get aggravated about something that you can't like control. Because when I was younger, I used to get mad about a lot of things that were out of my control, but he was the same way as me, and really just take everything with a grain of salt and don't get too upset about something.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have been good advice for me at your age as well.
Yeah.
Um, just I think that's so funny how we have so many similarities and like I see a
For
lot
sure.
of myself in you. Like when I was a kid, that's all I cared about was, we're in school and I'm like, I don't understand why I'm learning Pythagorean theorem,
Yeah.
bro. Like I'm not gonna even remember this on the test, like let
Yeah.
alone, like in life.
For sure.
And
For
but
sure.
when I was in high school, I was very successful in reselling. So I was a reseller, and I was doing very well. And I mean, I started as young as like 13.
Yeah.
I can remember, I come from a family of 5 kids.
Yeah.
So like, dude, I had to share a bedroom until I was like a teenager, right?
Yeah.
And I can just remember like having like I had a lot of like friends, but my best friends were like neighborhood friends,
Yeah.
and I can always remember being kind of left behind quite a bit. Not all the time,
Hmm.
but most of the time when they would want to go out and do stuff. I'm not joking, you dude. My best friend who lived across the street from me, his mom paid for almost everything that I did
Yeah.
because I would go to my dad and be like, Dad, can I have $5 to get into the ice rink? And my dad, you know, Jake, he's like, if I give you $5, I have to give everybody $5, right?
Yeah. For sure.
And he goes, it wouldn't be fair to them. He goes, I'm really sorry, but we, and he always put it in a way that made me not feel bad
Yeah.
because he'd be like, we have to make sure you have a roof over your head. And I'm like, oh, dang. I didn't ever think of the severity and how scary that is until I became an adult.
For
I'm like,
sure.
oh, I've got a mortgage now. Like, I have to work. I have to provide for my family.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's part of like when I was younger, I was really skinny, lean, and everything.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of training. I got hurt a lot. And that's kind of why I stopped doing that. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people go, oh, it's counterproductive. It's like, no, my job is physical. Like I can't, if I break my hands, if I, mess my
Yeah.
legs up, if I fall, break my leg, like I don't make money. I have
Yeah.
no way of making money. So
For sure.
kind of learned to appreciate that and like, make my work the most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to pivot a little bit. Something we've been talking about kind of in recent history is your sister.
Yeah.
So maybe for people that kind of don't know her story, if it's okay, if it becomes too much for you,
No, we're
we'll
good.
move on. We'll move on. But if you want to,
Yeah. For
maybe
sure.
just talk about like her, what her age, like where she's at in life,
Yeah.
and like what's going on.
Yeah. So back in February, my sister, she's in elementary school. She's 6 years old. Her name's
6
Briella.
years old.
6 years old. She was crazy kid. She's always been crazy since she was little. Always just out of her mind, no fear, nothing. So already given my parents headaches. But anyway, so she was out on the playground one day and she fell and actually broke her femur. And as people know, a femur is one of your strongest bones in your body, and
Yeah.
it takes a lot to break that. So we were like, okay, she's just crazy, whatever. When it picked her up, parents brought her to the hospital. Just thought it was gonna be, yep, broken bone, um, and have to wear a cast or whatever. Turns out to be she had osteosarcoma, which is a cancer. So yeah, that was definitely a shock. And a couple of years before that, my grandma passed away from pancreatic cancer, so it was already hard on my mom and stuff. So
Right.
finding out her 6-year-old daughter has
Wow.
osteosarcoma, and anytime you hear the word cancer, you always think the worst of it. So
Always. Yeah.
she had it in her leg, and it was the first couple months, first probably month or two was pretty scary, but she got on chemotherapy and she's been kicking ass. I mean, it's crazy what she's been doing. I remember over the summertime she's got a broken leg, she's going through chemo, she's got a bald head, everything, no hair, and she's out on the playground doing the monkey bars.
Wow.
I mean, she's an animal, but
So she's just not. She would not let that stop her.
no, absolutely not. She'd go to the hospital for a couple days, get her chemotherapy, come home and be down for about a day, but after that she'd be ready to roll and ready to go out and play with the dog and
Wow.
everything. But
So
she
her
did,
downtime from the treatment is like 24 hours.
yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
we made her drink like a lot of water to flush it through her system, and she was actually doing that so well she was breaking records at the hospital for
Oh, come
how
on,
fast.
really?
Yeah, she broke the record of how fast she cleared like the chemotherapy out of her system. Then she broke her own record again. So it was
What?
it's crazy. She's been killing it, and she's just crazy. But to add to that, she also had to have surgery, and at first they were gonna do like a rotation plasty surgery, so they would take like the lower half of her leg and put it up top and pretty much take the whole femur section out.
Oh my gosh.
But luckily they were able to not do that,
Oh.
and instead, which is crazy, I don't know how they did it, they cut her leg open and they took out her femur bone and replaced it with like an artificial like rod that
Wow.
pretty much saved her leg. So yeah, she's got a scar, but she's gonna be able to walk. She's gonna be able to do everything she used to be able to do in her life before
Oh my gosh.
getting
Dude.
diagnosed, which is crazy.
Wow.
Crazy to think at 6 years old.
So we had talked off camera before you had gotten here.
Yeah.
Where is she today?
So today she's in the hospital. So she got her chemotherapy last week, and usually like on the 8th day after chemo, she gets a fever and has to go back to the hospital because her white blood cell count drops to 0.
Oh my god.
So that means her body can't fight off infections, and she actually has a port that they send the medicine through, and it goes directly to her heart. So if she was to get sick or anything like that, and it got into that port and into her heart, there's a probability she would die. So today she had to go, or like 2 days ago, she had to go back because she got her fever. Just precautionary, nothing's wrong. They put her on a little bit of medicine. She's usually fine, but just to keep her safe, she's got to stay over there for a couple of days.
Wow.
But yeah, she's at Golisano Children's Hospital, and
God bless them, man.
I'm sure they do a lot of crazy stuff for her
They sure do.
on Halloween. So
They
I
sure
know she's taken care of for sure.
She's
And I'll
good.
probably go up to see her today.
Oh, gosh, dude. God bless. That, we are very lucky where we live to have Golisano Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
My son had open heart surgery at 9 weeks old at the Golisano Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
They have been like, dude, if it is not for people like the surgeons there, these professionals, and thankfully where we are, they have completely left politics out of this,
Absolutely.
which is just, even during the pandemic, I think it's incredibly crucial in treatment. And and I hear these horror stories of other places and everything where that didn't happen, but we're very blessed to have them. And if
Yeah.
there was ever a time for something terrible to happen, now is the time with all the advancements we've had in technology.
Yeah. Absolutely.
My gosh, dude, I pray so much for her. And
Yeah. I appreciate it.
oh, dude, I couldn't imagine. My son is 10, and like, gosh, to be going through that. And I know that's there's an age gap between you and your sister, but
Yeah.
oh wow, that's heavy. That's heavy
Yeah.
stuff.
So she's almost done though. We're shooting for November. I think it's 11th is her last session of chemotherapy, and then after that it's a little bit of a like physical learning how to like walk on her leg and stuff. But she's been killing it doing that too. But obviously it takes a little bit of time because she hasn't walked on it since February, and she got her surgery in August. So she's been walking on it for a little while now.
So this, well, I want to ask this first. What, if you can provide any updates in terms of like her outlook? Have they done that? If possible, you don't have to if it's not something you can talk about.
Yeah, so her outlook moving forward, like I said, is November 11th. She's going to be done with chemotherapy. Obviously, because of her age and everything, they're going to keep a pretty close watch on her until she's about 18. Like every 6 months, they're going to scan her and do like a PET scan and make sure there's no more cancer coming up anywhere. Because usually with osteosarcoma, it is a cancer that tends to like mutate. So there's a possibility of it coming back, but the possibilities are low. So we're praying it doesn't.
Is that because they caught it early?
Yeah, so if she did not break her femur, most of the time it's hard to catch it until it's almost too late.
Oh
So
my
it was
gosh.
kind of a miracle that somehow she managed to break the strongest bone in her body. Obviously, it was a little bit weaker
Oh
at
my
that part where she
gosh.
broke it because of the cancer, but
So when that day happened and you're like, she broke her femur, right?
yeah.
And you go to the hospital, the doctors had to have had some sort of concern right away.
Yeah, so I knew she broke her leg and my parents went up to the hospital or whatever. I got a phone call from my mom after they found out it was cancer. And obviously that was a little upsetting to hear because at the time everything's so new, so you think the worst of the worst. Which obviously cancer is not good in general, but her condition was looking for a pretty good outcome and pretty good success rate of what they were looking to do and how it was going to play out. So everything how they wanted to go, got done, which came out to be good.
And so all the steps that they were trying to get to, it sounds like they've gotten to.
Yep, absolutely. And she's been killing it all the way. There's not a day she hasn't been kicking ass.
Dude, that sounds like a bad mofo right there,
Yeah,
dude.
for
That is
sure.
absolutely incredible. And so this might be a little heavy, but if Bree was watching right now, that's her name, right, Briella?
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that I didn't mispronounce her name. If she was watching right now, or she was here on the mic right now, what would you want to say to her?
Just you're almost there, and you did a great job, and just keep pushing for these last 2 weeks. And after that, I know we're planning on doing a nice vacation and doing Disney World and all that
Let's
stuff. And
go.
so and
Let's
we've had an
go.
amazing team, all of our family and friends and stuff through the way, and there's so many people and like places stepping up and really taking care of her.
Wow. So haven't seen this, like we kind of talked, and like you and I have always talked, and like one of the things like knew we had common ground early on, long before we knew anything about your
Yeah,
sister, was that like we both had anger issues at at the same
yeah, for
points,
sure.
for sure. Do you think that having witnessed what's going on with your sister's medical, do you think that's changed you in any way, and if so, how?
Yeah, I really think it made me like a stronger person to be there for her, and obviously I was angry in the beginning because just couldn't, it's out of my control, and seeing someone so young go through this stuff, it just made me mad. But seeing her kick ass just was amazing. It's
Yeah,
been crazy.
yeah, wow, that's really awesome. I love it. I love it. Um, so, all right. So, thank you for sharing that. By the way,
Yeah,
I do
absolutely.
appreciate that. I made sure before the show that obviously we talked, and I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that you were comfortable about it. So now, okay, so let's kind of get back to you. What where do you see yourself in 10 years? Let's do that. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? Let's
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was saying, I'm getting into going to do like power line work and utility work. So
Okay.
really, that's where I see myself, and I want to get into that and kind of just be in that and help my dad's business out, and help him grow and become a better person and make more money, and yeah, just living.
So now I am a little familiar with the industry. One of my best friends works as he does the contracting.
Okay.
So he basically just gets calls from companies and like, hey, we need workers. They go out, he gets paid.
Yeah.
I know there's huge money in that.
Yeah.
I mean, massive. Like it's for however, there are challenges involved. And I'm obviously sure you know the industry because this is like you're taking those steps to get to this point.
Yeah.
What kind of challenges do you think you might run into as an adult and growing up, and how do you think that might impact you?
Yeah. So working on the power lines, you do a lot of traveling, so a lot of might have a lot of time away from your family, might be home a lot. It really varies. So I feel like having to spend time away from the family and everything is definitely going to be hard, but it's nice to come home and be able to have the things you want to have and do the things you want to do once you get back home. So
If I had to give you advice, unsolicited advice,
yeah,
I wish I took this advice when I was your age. Is I will tell you this, man. Make as much money in your 20s as you can.
yeah,
When I
absolutely.
was a kid, it was different.
Hmm.
I'm 36 now, so when I was 20, I'm telling you right now, dude, you're looking at a minimum wage job no matter where you're going.
Yeah,
I got into the restaurants because I knew there was a little bit of better money there. Became a barber at 25. Um,
yeah,
and I've been in service the whole time, but a lot of people I knew were working minimum wage jobs in their 20s. So I think, our mindset back then was, you know what, I'm only going to be 21, I'm going to have fun.
yeah,
Because it was impossible. You were gonna work, but dude, there was no saving money
yeah,
for the working class back then.
yeah,
But nowadays, with the advancements in live social shopping and selling, with just the way in which social media enterprise has grown so incredibly much. My advice to young people right now would be make your money in your 20s,
yeah,
because then really when you get to your mid 40s, even hopefully for a lot of people earlier, you can kind of sit back and kick it.
absolutely. So that's definitely what I'm trying to do. Never really had a say minimum wage job. Like
No, you
now,
definitely did not.
definitely haven't. I had a landscaping company, and I've always been finding ways to make money. Whether I got a good group of friends, and we're all pretty well off right now, and we hope to do a lot of work together, a lot of businesses together, because they all own different businesses right now. and we all kind of work together. If we got a job to take on, or if we got just anything, we all help each other out. And I know we're all gonna figure out some things and hopefully make some good money while we can, while we're young, and enjoy it while we're older.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so good. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely enjoy it along the way as you can, but you know,
Yeah.
planning for the future I think is huge, especially in today's climate, man. Things are changing so fast, and I actually, from kind of the research that I've been doing,
Yeah.
I think that we're getting to a point where in 5 to 10 years, you're gonna see. I think you're gonna see a rebound of people kind of using their phones less for like daily life. I think people are gonna kind of, and I think it's the younger generation, your generation, that's gonna start the change. And I think the kids currently now in the school systems, I think
Yeah.
those are gonna be the ones that are kind of like, you know what, dude, like I don't want to be on my phone all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that VR will actually change a lot of that too. I think you'll see more people wearing like VR glasses,
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, somebody's calling me, boop, I can see it on my glasses, rather than have this
Absolutely.
like thing in my pocket, right?
For sure. Especially, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So especially nowadays, I got younger siblings, obviously, and my parents try to keep them away from the tablets and stuff like that. But really, when I was growing up, it's always like the video game area. And
Yeah.
I played video games. I'm not going to say I didn't, but I never really played them a whole lot. Like I was always trying to figure out something to go out and make money back then, walk around with rakes and rake up people's yards during the fall season, which we're in right now.
Lemonade stand when you're a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Rob the Skippy truck.
I think, yeah. I think it's going to be interesting because not a lot of people want to go out and do like blue collar jobs, which I'm getting into, so I could speak for that. It's hard to find good help, and especially with the business too. My dad's business, it's hard to find good help, but there's a lot of changes that I feel like will happen coming up soon.
Yeah. I definitely feel the same way. I kind of feel a strong way about that, and you know, yeah, it is. It is just. I think things will be different in about 10 years. I think like for the better, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things like I will say this as a parent. I used to be the parent that was like, I will never give my kid access to a phone until he's 16. I will never be that parent that just puts him in front of a tablet. But then when you're an actual parent, you realize how much energy that takes. They do become beneficial. Luckily, though, I got very lucky. I have one son, and I got him a cell phone at 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That was because his mom and I live apart. I wanted to make sure I could get a hold of him.
Yeah.
But he could care less about his phone. He loves it,
Yeah.
but he doesn't get off the bus and like go in his room, shut the door, and just watch videos, right?
Yeah.
And he's 10. He's
Yeah.
10. He goes, the first thing he does, changes, right? Like he takes his socks off. Like even now, it's like freezing out. Takes his socks off, and the first thing he wants to do is ride over to his friend's house, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, take your phone with you. So it's funny because as a parent, I'm kind of like, I don't want my son to be this way, but then, you know, he, unfortunately, you know, I'm like, you got to take your phone. But I also want to make sure I know where he is because I do track him. He's
Yeah,
only
for
10,
sure.
and he's been getting a little testy with the bike situation because he's kind of doing that thing where, you know, he feels like he could just roam the neighborhood
Yeah.
and go wherever without
Yeah.
telling me. So all of a sudden I'll get a notification and I'm like, wait a minute, he's where? And like he's like, you know, 2 streets over,
Yeah.
playing at someone's house that I don't even know who they are, you know, but I make sure that I'll, you know, I always have to tell him before he goes, I'm like, you need to tell me where you're going, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and I think back to my childhood, and we were lucky enough to have a great neighborhood. Um, so, my dad was just like, hey man, be home by dinner time, right? Like 5:30, come check in. So he did give us, a lot of free reign.
Absolutely.
Times are a little different now, but
Yeah.
it's interesting how you hear it all the time. Oh, kids don't play outside anymore. I'm like, you should see my kid. And if you think
Yeah.
like phones are a distraction to them, maybe for some, but like, I think a lot of times it's just maybe the area that they live in, right?
Yeah. For
I
sure.
think that plays a huge role. So okay, so your daily. So you go to work. What's on your tool belt? What's your daily carry?
Yeah. So right now I'm doing like line clearance for the power lines. So pretty much like tree trimming almost. So anything that's growing up and real nasty through the power lines, we obviously want to eliminate that because affects like the power going out. So when it gets real windy and power goes out, most of the times it's a tree that falls down in the lines or something like that. So what I do right now is go and eliminate that problem and help it so you're not losing your power. So we're looking at like chainsaws and stuff like that. Like obviously safety equipment to keep ourselves if we do get pretty close and up and personal with the power lines. So you don't want to mess with them. One wrong move, it could cost you your life. So we got
Yeah.
bucket trucks that are all insulated and stuff like that. We got gloves and stuff that we gotta wear and
So you got the double tool belt going. You got
yeah,
the toolbox and the belt.
yeah, we got it going on.
One of the things that super interesting. One of my good buddies. Ironically, I hung out with him. He came here 2 years ago on Halloween when we had a little Halloween party.
Yeah,
And what was interesting, he sent me some videos of they had this job where they were being brought to was so far out there. They actually had a helicopter come down and they had to hook to a lapel, I guess they're called.
yeah,
And literally, dude, he's showing me the videos of the guys flying away and the guys just dangling there. He's got his
yeah,
tool belt and everything. He's like, yeah, that's how we had to get to the place. And then the helicopter would hover, and then the guy'd go down, and then he'd start working on the line. And then they come back, grab the other guy, bring him over.
yeah,
And that's how they got in and out of the actual workplace.
yeah. Absolutely. It's
Me and this friend of mine, we went to the Adirondacks as well.
okay.
And when we were up there, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna show this guy around, right? This is gonna be so cool, like, cause I come here every year, I know this place well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's up there, and he's like, oh, dude, I worked on all these power lines.
yeah,
I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, yeah, dude. He goes, you didn't even understand. He goes, these power lines go into the mountains. They go back so far.
yeah.
He goes, if something happens in the winter, not only do we have to get up here into the mountains, he goes, but we have to tread for miles to
Oh
find
yeah,
where the source is that, wherever the outage is coming from.
absolutely.
I'm just like, damn, dude. I talked to him after, um, man, I talked to him after somebody he worked with died.
Yeah,
Person was typically very careful, and I can't remember the story, but I think he may have fell into a
power line.
line. Yeah, like
Okay.
had tripped or something, and yeah, that was. He was very emotional, obviously, like
Yeah,
losing a brother.
yeah,
It's
for
kind of
sure.
the way he looks at that. So I know that's some really high risk work that you're getting into there for
Yeah.
sure. But what is the like, how much can you make a year doing that if you were full time?
Yeah, so really it depends. A lot of where you make a lot of money is doing like storm restoration. So like when hurricane hits Florida, they call in crews from everywhere and a couple millions of people out of power and you got to go out and do the restoration. So you're looking at I mean, I know one guy that he went down on storm for about a month and came back and built a very nice house and paid for like half of it with the storm check. So you can make
Just from the storm check.
yeah. So you're looking at probably around 220 a year, 225, and then if you get some good storms, you could possibly get up to 300
That's funny.
around there.
That's funny because that's actually something you and I have never talked about. I've never asked you that question. But you're dead right, because my boy was consistently making. He's like on a bad year, I make 2.25.
Yeah.
He was also telling me that the foremen
Yep.
make 500K.
Oh yeah. Yep.
500K.
Yeah.
Dude, like unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Crazy story. One of the foremans, I was cutting his hair for a while, man.
Yeah.
I think he was making 480 was his salary,
Yeah.
plus bonuses, all sorts of stuff. And
Yeah.
dude ended up lost his job because he got a D-dub.
Okay.
He was going through a divorce, so obviously, like, you can't work that job without a license,
Yeah.
and you can't operate heavy machinery without a license.
Yeah.
So dude loses his job, and then I was cutting his hair for a while. He had to go through court. He was going through like all sorts of breakup and stuff, and then he ended up. I know he went to Florida. Ended up going down to Florida, but dude, when he finally got all that stuff cleared up, they wanted him to start back as a worker. So he was once everybody's boss, and then they're like, oh, no, you're not going to be the boss anymore.
Yeah.
And they wanted him to start out back at like a salary of like 160.
Yeah.
I was like, dude. So for people out there, and for you, it is not worth it, bro.
Yeah,
You get to
absolutely.
that position, oh
I've heard a
my
lot of stories
gosh.
about that.
Oh my gosh. How 480K, and then they're like, yeah, we'll put you back on, but you're gonna start at the bottom and make 160.
Yeah.
Like that is just absolutely crazy to me.
Does your buddy work out of New York, or is he?
Yep. So he's
Okay.
in Syracuse now. I don't see him particularly too much. He is a wild one. Let's put it that way. He's definitely a wild one. Me too, but just in a different way. He's good dude. Like, but he has like, I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but he definitely has like the worst anger issues of anybody I've ever met. Like, dude, the guy's just always on one. Like,
Yeah.
For me, the reason I stopped hanging out with him is because I saw how he treated somebody, and I was like, bro, that's your dad, dude.
Yeah.
Talk to his dad that way. So, and my dad was dead, so for me that kind of touched home, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, I'd give anything to have my dad back. And
For sure.
you're over here calling your dad an idiot and this and that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
not really my type. So, we still stay in touch. He would come in, but he was actually, bro, when he would come to the shop, dude, I'm telling you, I'd do everything I could to clear my schedule if he walked in, because he was going to pay you at least $120 every time,
For sure.
He'll like drop 100. He's like, bro, this is just for getting me in. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Oh yeah.
Just look out for me. So, yeah, interesting. So, okay, so if you were to start a YouTube channel around like the jobs you would do, what would your YouTube channel be called?
Well, if I was doing power lines, probably like Life on the Line or something like that.
Nice.
I feel like it'd be pretty cool. Something like that.
Nice. And what kind of things would you want to do in your channel? Like, would it be kind of like educational?
Yeah, it'd just be like a day in the life almost, just showing what gets done so people know, and obviously educating younger people, because, like I said, it's going to be tough for the industry because not a lot of people want to get into like blue collar jobs, I guess you could say.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
teaching about it and giving the younger generation like pointers and tips, make it a little bit easier for them.
Life on the line. I love that, man. I love that. That is so cool. Yo, that whole concept you just spit there is brilliant, dude. That's money in itself right there.
Yeah.
I hope you can figure out a way to do that. I don't think it would be that hard. I
Yeah.
think with some GoPros and some body straps.
Yeah. The
You
meta
know.
glasses, I'm thinking about getting a pair of those. Those are pretty cool.
Hey, let's go. Look at you. So this kind of sounds like something you've put thought into.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Thinking about it a little bit.
Dude, I love that. I love that, man. Life on the line, dude. That would be so freaking awesome. It's amazing how many different niches there are out there. I remember when I started this channel, bro, I literally did it for myself. I never thought, I didn't think I was gonna get one view ever.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time one of my videos did like 1,000 views the first day. I was like, yo, I made it. I've made it, dude. You
Absolutely.
know, and then I'm like, I am not a social media person at all. Like, so I did my whole entire career. I mean, you used to see how booked out I was
Yeah.
when I was there. Dude, I never in my entire 10 plus years of cutting hair paid a dime for advertising.
That's good.
Never paid a dime for advertising. It was all word of mouth. And then about 3 years ago, I changed my hook to Haircuts by Jacob because I wanted it to be simple. I was like, yo, I just want people to be able to, like, who, if you forget that, you don't deserve to get a haircut from me.
Yeah.
Like, if you get,
For sure.
you don't deserve to see any of my stuff. Like, but dude, you look at my Instagram, bro, over the years, I've literally probably like 20 posts over 10 years, dude. I
Yeah.
just never, you know, to me it wasn't, now it's bigger. Now you can actually do very well on social media.
For sure.
But I think I was always very camera shy.
Yeah.
For sure. So, you know, interesting. I like that concept though, life on the line. Very, very cool. I think that would be, I mean, it used to blow my mind because my brother was into like the car dealing and stuff. So he had a car dealership and my brother passed away, unfortunately. But dude, he would like find these channels that I didn't even knew like I had no idea these would even exist. Where like a guy basically like has a, you know, he has land in like the Midwest somewhere, right? And his source of income, or one of his sources of income, is buying and flipping cars.
Yeah.
And this dude was getting like millions of views on his channel. And my brother's always like, oh, I want to do something like that. And I was like, dude, people watch this? He's like, oh yeah. And like one of the videos the guy went through and was like showing like, not only do they watch it, but they watch the entire video.
Yeah.
Which is like where like most of your data and your good stats are going to come from. Like
sure.
people actually like engaging.
Absolutely.
I always found one of the most interesting things. Give me 1 second. I just want to blow my nose. Had a little cold earlier this week.
Yeah.
Fortunately, gross. Sorry, YouTube. But one of the things that was super interesting was, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Oh my god, totally lost my train of thought about that. Anyway, yeah. See what happened? I had to blow my nose. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I always thought it was an interesting piece of data because you do get analytics on your viewership.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they'll show you is like the age demographics.
Okay.
So I remember looking at like, you know, because I was making the videos originally as tutorials, like trying to explain like what I was doing when I was cutting hair, like what I was looking for and stuff like that. And one of the things that I noticed in there is if you look, it broke it down by like generation. It was like, you know, like 18 to 28, and then 28 to 38, or you know, 10-year span, something like that. And as the ages got older, the the amount of view time would actually go up.
Okay.
So, and then as it got to like that 16 to 24, I think it was, like it went from like average view time 5 minutes, then it was like 4 minutes and 30, then it was like 3. Dude, you get to 16 to 24, it was like 8 seconds. Like they were just like done. And that's how I knew. I was like, yeah, the future is short form. Like that was starting to tell me like the younger generations are starting to want to see like 3-minute videos. You know, they don't want the long form unless it's, you know, educational or it's something that they like are gonna need, which, you know, to me, dude, you're not gonna learn how to, you know, properly wire something in 3 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
Watching a video, could you imagine the disaster that would be?
Oh yeah.
Like, my gosh, that would be terrible. And then like same thing with cutting hair. I used to like see these reels and stuff, and then before I was at the shop you and I met at, I had taught barbering, and dude, the younger generation had no tolerance whatsoever for like, they had no tolerance for learning. Like it was like, dude, like if they were doing a haircut, like as like, cause you get like people off the streets that come in to do the demos and stuff.
Yeah.
If they couldn't do the haircut in like literally like the steps that they saw in a 3-minute reel on TikTok, they would, dude, kids would walk away. And you're an instructor going, I have to finish like 5
Yeah.
haircuts because these kids don't have the patience, you know?
Yeah.
And I always found that like to be like worrisome, kind of going back to what you were talking about, how people just don't want to get into service jobs.
Yeah. For sure.
So I do think there's going to be a flip, though. I do think
Yeah.
that I do think it'll come back around. um, I think eventually people will realize, like, hey, this is a much better route.
Yeah.
You know, instead of spending, gosh, how much is college now? You know, like,
Yeah. And that's the problem is I was just recently in high school, obviously. I feel like in high school they really pushed for college, but luckily for me, they started having more opportunities for the trades and stuff like that. So I actually went to like a little bit of like a trade school while I was in high school. So I didn't have to sit through the stuff that I didn't like. I got to go do like electrical work while like learning, which was pretty cool. So I hope they push that a little bit more because in the beginning they obviously push for college a lot, and you say you don't want to go to college, they kind of look down on you. At least that's how my experience was, but I know.
I think it was even worse when I was there.
Yeah,
When the minute you get into your junior year of high school here,
yeah,
they would start asking you, have you applied to any colleges? Applied to colleges? I'm like, dude, do you know how long 2 years is gonna be? Like,
yeah,
and then the minute if you ever uttered the words like, I don't know if college is for me,
yeah.
they were done with
Done,
you.
yeah.
It was over.
So that's the
Like,
thing is like me and my buddies, we were all in the same grade, same class, and everything. We were like, none of us. We were all doing the landscaping and construction business together. So we were all like, yeah, college isn't for us, and they kind of looked down on us. But I know nowadays, doing better than most of my teachers. So.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct. Yes. Dude, you know, and it's cliche, but when I was a kid, they used to say, "Do you want to just be a garbage man?" And then you get older, and you're like, "Wait a minute, that garbage man is making 60,000, 70,000 a
Oh,
year."
more than that. They're making like 100 now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, wait, what? Sign me up? You know,
Yeah.
like, but they never tell you that because, well, in the field I'm in, you get to talk to everybody
Yeah.
locally. So it was interesting because I still cut. I actually have somebody coming later who was a teacher of mine,
Okay.
and we talked quite a bit about it. Back in the day, they were pushing college so heavily on people that because the school basically got kickbacks for every student that went to college. So they would get like funding, like the budget and stuff came from like how many kids they were getting in there.
Yeah.
The issue the schools are having today is getting kids to go to school, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm not kidding you. This year there is an incentivization for the kids to come to school, for the parents, bro. So when we went to like meet the teacher this year, they handed us a paper that was like, oh, we're incentivizing good attendance, and the parents are getting incentivized. I never like read over it or anything,
Yeah.
but they're trying to incentivize parents to make their kids go to school.
Huh.
So
crazy.
you know, because so much is changing now.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot is changing. Like you look over at Thomas,
Yeah.
they have the automotive over there.
Yeah. So that's where I went to is Thomas. So
That
familiar with that.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because when I was in high school, that wouldn't have even been a thought, dude.
Yeah.
You know what they used to call goal?
No.
It was called BOCES.
Okay.
Okay, so BOCES, if you think about that word,
Yeah.
you're gonna think of like a dunce, right?
Yeah.
Like a bad kid,
Yeah.
somebody who is learning disabled. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you think of, and so they had this connotation on BOCES, but what they didn't tell you was that BOCES was basically for kids that were going to learn trades.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a trade was till I was 20.
Yeah,
I was out of high
for
school
sure.
before I learned, oh, there's a thing called trades where you can go to trade school, learn a skill, and go to work right away.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious right now? Like,
Yeah.
you know, but for me, in my experience, when I was there, the beginning of 12th grade, I told my counselor that I didn't have plans to go to college. I
Yeah.
wanted to take time off to figure out what I wanted to do, and the within this is crazy. Within a month after that, I was suspended for 22 weeks.
Really?
Yes, yes. So they basically found a reason to suspend me
Yeah.
because for what I don't know, I'd like to know what the bigger picture is there,
Yeah.
like what they got out of getting me out of the school.
Yeah.
But legally, the schools have to provide you an education till you're 21.
Yeah.
So you're legally allowed to get your diploma till you're 21.
Okay.
So they had to provide me I think they just thought I was going to drop out,
Yeah.
which wasn't the case at all. I was like,
For
yeah,
sure.
there's no way I'm dropping out.
Yeah.
And then, so I ended up getting my diploma. So they had to provide me a tutor, a one-on-one tutor, all paid for by the school.
There you go.
And that was because I had a pipe in my car.
Okay.
I had an empty glass pipe.
Yeah.
And they said, well, it smells like marijuana. I said, oh, there's a reason for that. And now it's legal. Now I heard for that is like a 5-week suspension.
Yeah.
Something really
something
ridiculous.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm not really too sure. I never smoked too much while I was in school, but I know a couple buddies that did, and they got in a little bit of trouble. But it's probably more lenient now, I'm assuming, but not as much. I know there's still consequences for it.
It's crazy. You know what's even
Yeah.
crazier is I didn't even really smoke that much.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my peers thought I was like this huge stoner. I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I just would I think when I was in 7th grade, they put me on Adderall,
Okay.
and I took that till 9th grade.
Yeah.
And then in, I think, 10th grade, I tried weed, and I was like, oh my gosh. What? And then I realized how bad Adderall was. I was like, wait a minute, why can't I do this, but it's okay to take these?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's really crazy. And then, yeah, I just had that, like, I don't know why the world viewed it like that, and why it was like, man, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy times. Like, yeah, perfectly okay to take Adderall, but my only thing was, like, you know, the like smoking weed actually did what I really needed to have happen for my ADHD.
Yeah.
The only negative effect was I couldn't remember anything when it came to like the tests.
Yeah.
So it was
for
like
sure.
I would study, I would focus, I'd be in the class, I'd be attentive. And then when it came time to the test, I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember any of this, dude. What the
Yeah.
hell? I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
taking that extra hit this morning would help.
Oh boy.
What a trip, right?
Yeah.
Life is crazy.
For sure.
But that's awesome. So we got Halloween today. You got any plans?
Like I said, probably go up see my sister in the hospital, hang out up there for a little bit, do a little work at the shop, help my dad out a little bit. But other than that, probably stay home, pass out some candy, and yeah, maybe go out to a couple spots, cousin's house, maybe swing over here.
How's everything with the girl?
Good, we're doing good, and it's funny. I wanted to bring that up. I remember when I was looking for a new barber, and I came to cut my hair from you. Remember? You
Yeah.
cut my hair the first time, and then
Yeah.
after that, that's when me and my girl started dating because
I
she
told
liked
you.
my hair.
Remember what I told you? I
Yeah.
said you're about to get a new girlfriend because of this cut.
I know, and then ever since I only came here.
That's just from kind of history repeating itself.
Yeah.
A good haircut goes a long way, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You were all jacked up
Yeah.
because you had like the nice like mullet going on.
Yeah.
But dude, like people had the hardest time trying to figure out how to do the proper mullet.
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, dude, they left your neck hair long, dude.
Yeah. I don't
What
know.
was that?
I don't even remember where I went,
It
but
was like neck hair that was long, and then it was like short. I was like, yo, what is going on?
yeah,
And they had to crop you up. I was like, yo, you're about to get a girl because of this. And then you got a girl.
yep.
I remember one time I told this dude, this is my favorite story. He was going to a wedding. He got his first haircut from me, so the whole time he's like, don't jack me up, don't jack me up. I was like, bro, let me tell you what. I was like, you're about to get the hottest girl that you at this wedding that you would think you would never have a chance with. I go, when that does happen and you see me out, you owe me a drink. I said to him, right?
Yeah.
Bro, the night of the wedding, I run into him at a bar,
Oh,
and he's
boy.
with this beautiful girl. And he comes up to me, he's like, dude. I was like, yo. I was like, so what's good? He's like, yo, you see this girl over here? I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, I met her tonight, bro. He's like, yo. Literally orders me a drink. He's like, literally shitting himself. I'm shitting myself. I'm like, what in the
That's
hell?
crazy.
Oh, yo, I was just messing around. But yeah, it ended up, good haircuts, man. They go a long way.
For sure.
That's one of my favorite things about this job. It's like, you know, it's good and bad because people rely on you so much.
Yeah.
You know, and that's good. But also at the same time, you know, like my situation, I knew I was in a toxic environment where I worked, and I just needed to get out. And I knew I was like, dude, I hung on for so long in a situation where it was like, bro, I needed to get out of there, but I kept staying because I love my clients.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I just don't want to leave people hanging. And, but it just got so overwhelming, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, that guy was tough to work for. So, but now I'm happy, man, because you know what? I'm back doing it the way that I want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This worked out. And I'm so glad it did. And I should have known that before. I should have, life experience, right? Like, you live and learn, but
Yep.
one thing for sure is like if you have a positive mindset, it always works out, man.
Yeah.
It always does.
Absolutely.
So worrying about things like that, like if you're in a bad situation, just get out.
Yeah.
Like, just don't even hesitate. Don't even hesitate, bro. The amount of times that I've been at like jobs where I was like, bro, I just can't stand this job. Like, I wish I could tell my younger self, like, dude, forget about it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Yeah, you might not have that paycheck or something coming in for a little bit, but guess what? You got your time back, and that's time where you can figure things out.
Yeah.
So
That's always the thing is you can always make more money and everything, but you can never make more time. So
correct.
it's you gotta definitely take it while it's worth, and that's really before I was always go
Make
throughout
as
high
much as you
school
can. Yep.
and
Yep.
everything that happened with my sister and everything. It made me realize like yeah, you gotta take time and do the little things and stuff. You know what I mean? And go out fishing and go out and see places that really makes it worth it, and you'll remember it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, enjoying the little things, man, for sure. The wind blowing, the leaves falling,
Yeah,
the change in the season, and
yeah, that's
even though for people like me who get seasonal allergies,
that. Yeah,
like, kills me so bad, but
yeah,
I still enjoy it. I still take a moment to appreciate, like how much worse things could be in life, complaining about allergies, right?
Yeah.
Like, people can't get access to fresh water.
yeah,
I'm like, oh, my allergies.
yeah. And I know, especially up here in New York, upstate, we complain about the snow all the time, but it's like sometimes like most people don't get to experience that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it gets a little annoying having to deal with the cold and everything, but it's nice during Christmas time. You got snow on the ground, and I think it's just a lot cooler.
It's one of the most beautiful places in terms of like when it's spring to summer,
Yeah,
bro. The summertime, there's no place more beautiful than here.
yeah,
Like, and that was one of the things like why I didn't want to spend my entire summer just slaving away. I
Yeah.
love cutting hair. I'll do it every single day, all day.
yeah,
But like, when you start like telling me I can't enjoy life a little bit, it's like, all right.
yeah.
All right. I don't know who gave you power over me.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
And that's kind of where it was, and like that's why the timing of everything worked out the way it did. Because I was like, dude, I am going to take back my time right now. Like,
Yeah.
I've worked through every single summer for like, dude, like since the pandemic, really.
Yep.
Because then when the pandemic hit, I wasn't working as much. But since that time, think about that. I didn't go on vacation, bro. I worked all summer long. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like camping, I guess you could count as a vacation, but it's not really
Mhm.
a vacation. But so yeah, I knew, and then it was like right in the middle of summer, and I was kind of like, yeah, this is perfect because it's kind of downtime right now. Like, I was like, I gotta get up out of here, bruh.
Yeah.
I gotta get up out of here this morning, bruh.
For
What are
sure.
we doing? What are we doing? All right, so Maddie, thank you for coming by as always.
Absolutely.
Gonna finish touching up your hair. I guess we're gonna cut this live off. Take a look here in just a second. We'll do a little sweep around and get you shaved up before we leave. But let's take a look real quick. Oh, crispy baby, crispy for
Looking
Halloween.
good.
Let's go. Look at that. I love that backflow, dude.
Yeah.
I
For
love
sure.
that
For
backflow.
sure.
Take a look. Take a look. Look in the book. Look in the book. All right, so we'll get you shaved up and we'll get out of here. I appreciate you sharing that info.
Yeah.
And
I'll be back.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Nothing much. Just keep living.
Keep living, baby. Keep living.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right, till next time.